No jury can declare a man guilty unless it's sure. We 9 can't understand how you 3 are still so sure. Maybe you can tell us.
I'll try. You've made some excellent points, but I still believe the boy is guilty of murder, and I have 2 reasons. 1, the evidence given by the woman across the street who actually saw the murder committed.
As far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
And 2, the fact that she described the stabbing by saying she saw the boy raise his arm over his head and stab down into the father's chest. She saw him do it the wrong way.
That's absolutely right.
Let's talk about this woman for a moment. She said she went to bed about 11 o'clock that night. Her bed was next to the window, and she could look out while lying down and see directly into the boy's room across the street. She tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to sleep. Finally, she turned toward the window at about 10 minutes after 12, and as she looked out, she saw the killing through the windows of a passing L train. She said the lights went out immediately after the killing, but that she got a good look at the boy in the act of stabbing his father. As far as I can see it, this is unshakable testimony.
Well, that's the whole case.
What do you think? It's 6:15. Someone before mentioned 7 o'clock. I think that's a point at which we might begin to discuss the question of whether we're a hung jury or not.
Don't you feel well?
I feel perfectly well, thank you. I was saying that 7 o'clock would be a reasonable time.
The reason I asked about that was because you were rubbing your nose like... Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you made a gesture that reminded me of something.
I'm trying to settle something here. Do you mind?
Well, I think this is important. Thank you. Now then, I'm sure you'll pardon me for this, but I was wondering why you're rubbing your nose like that.
Oh, come on, will you?
At this point, I happen to be talking to the gentleman sitting next to you. Now, why were you rubbing your nose like that?
Well, if it's any of your business, I was rubbing it because it bothers me a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it because of your eyeglasses?
It is. Now, could we get on to something else?
Your eyeglasses made those 2 deep impressions in the sides of your nose. I hadn't noticed that before. That must be annoying.
It is very annoying.
The woman who testified that she saw the killing had those same marks on the sides of her nose.
Holy smokes, you know he's
Please. Just give me a minute. Now I'll be finished. I don't know if anyone else noticed that about her. I didn't think of it then, but I've been going over her face in my mind. She had those same marks. She kept rubbing them in court.
He's right. Now, she did do that a lot.
Marks on a nose. Well, what does that mean?
Could those marks be made by anything other than eyeglasses?
No, they couldn't.
I didn't see any marks.
I did. Strange, but I didn't think about it before.
Do you wear glasses when you go to bed?
No, I don't. No one wears eyeglasses to bed.
It's logical to assume that she wasn't wearing them when she was in bed, tossing and turning, trying to fall asleep.
How do you know?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm also guessing that she probably didn't put her glasses on when she turned and looked casually out of the window. And she herself testified the killing took place just as she looked out. The lights went off a split second later. She couldn't have had time to put them on there.
Wait a second.
Here's another guess. Maybe she honestly thought she saw the boy kill his father. I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? How does he know all that? How do you know what kind of glasses she wore? Maybe there were sunglasses. Maybe she was farsighted. What do you know about her?
I only know the woman's eyesight is in question now.
Oh, don't give me that.
Don't you think the woman might have made a mistake?
No.
It's not possible.
No, it's not possible.
Is it possible?
Not guilty.
You think he's guilty?
I think he's guilty.
You?
No. I'm convinced. Not guilty.